briefing on this before we show you how to tie into it is this is a chunk of hardwood. So on the front is the tongue, on the back is the groove side. So typically when you nail it, you butt this in and the nail goes diagonally through the corner of the tongue and then pressure fits and sucks in tight. So you just have to keep that in mind when we're tying this all in. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a nail sticking out at an angle. It's not quite a 45, but whatever, it's probably just because we pulled it out. But when you're removing hardwood, you want to be looking at the tongue, and you want to just gently pry up and pop this out, and the nail will pull out at an angle and just kind of pop and roll out of there. You can't pull it out from the back side because the nail fights it, so just keep that in mind. That's how we're pulling this hardwood up today. So I'll show you how this works. What I've done, I have my circular saw, my hammer, and my pickle fork, which is cat's paw. That's the term we've come up with. I got a flush cut tool here. They call it, I don't know, like a oscillating or a flush cut or a multi-tool. So we have one of those. I'll show you where we might need that. So what I've done is, because the nail goes through the front and diagonally down, I'm cutting this piece out in the middle of the hardwood, but I'm just staying more to the back, because if I go too close to the front, I'll probably end up cutting right through the nail, which may or may not be a good or bad thing, but I'm just, for what I've done and how it's working, I'll just stay to the back. So I've set the depth of my saw, so I'm just cutting into my floor just maybe a 32nd of an inch. So I've done that, and the reason I'm cutting it is because my next joint is back here, and in order for me to tie in properly and make this look like it has never been tied into, I have to just kind of attach it back to the existing joints. So what I'll do is I'll just pull this piece out, the middle, and when I pull it out, that allows me to pull the back side out, the groove part. Sometimes just gotta work it a little bit. Okay, so now that'll give me room to pry this piece back and just kind of keep playing with it. You can't pry it directly upward or you'll bust this next chunk out. You'll bust the top of it off. So we'll just try to work this out, and I'm just going to try to pry it this way and just kind of work it right. You know, I want to be patient, but I also want the video to go quickly. But don't get too rammy. But yeah, just keep prying that, keep working it. I don't want to pry down, like I don't want to pry like that because it'll bust this downward. So I got to be cautious there. If I just get enough. Sometimes if you stick cat's paw in here, just try to jam that out. Oh, and another thing, this chunk of hardwood could come out right now, and that'll give me more room to move it backwards if you need. So, get under there, and I'll just, you know how I just keep kind of popping it, that chunk, and we'll just keep that. Now this gives me more room to pry this one back. And once you get a system going, and you get the hang of it, it goes really well. Just kind of wiggle it, work that nail loose. Perfect. I got a nail to pull, that's garbage. Okay. Yeah, I can pry up on that because it's not going to bust the groove part of it downward. Okay, so the next little chunk is right here, so I can pull that up. And just work, you know, just let it bounce, let it come free. You kind of want it to pop forward. I think I broke the bottom of the groove off there. I did a little bit, but when we apply those, we can always just rip those off and we just PL those, PL Premium or hardwood glue. Okay, so now this next one ends right here. And sometimes, because the floor is faded, I just mark it because it's hard for me to see it with all the sawdust. So I'll cut this one, remember to stay close to the back, and we're going to take a strip out the middle. Do that right now. And just make sure your circular saw is not cutting too deep into your subfloor. So let's do this. More room, like that's about ideal from what I've experienced, is a piece about that big. If you go too narrow, you don't have enough room to pop the front back. So like I said, flush this middle out, and usually the other piece comes with it. Then we just want to work it back. These shorter pieces are nice. And that's the garbage, okay. And then I'll just clean the floor off and assess my next move. Because the next move, the joint is way back here, way. So what I'm gonna do is I just gotta grab my square, but I'm just gonna judge by all this back and forth where I put a joint. So I gotta look at all the ones here and all the ones forward, and I'm thinking, where should I pop this out at? You know what? If I cut this all the way back here, then that allows me to get this piece and this piece out. So I get two pieces out kind of free and clear. So I might just do that. But let's just say, for example, I want to cut it here. I just make a square mark. Then I get my flush cut tool. And I just work that, and I cut it down until it's free. I do the same thing, I just cut inward, remove the middle, and just keep doing it that way. I guess the only thing you'd have to keep in mind is that if you flush cut it somewhere in there, then you just gotta cut this chunk of hardwood off so it butts and it's got a nice clean square joint there. But other than that, that's what we've been doing. You can see that it's working. You just gotta take your time, not break anything. And then when you're hardwooding, you can just slide them in.
Thanks for checking out our video. For more home improvement tips and techniques, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or check us out on some of the following.
Moist still, so all the numbers shrunk the same amount. So with that, I think we're good to go, and hopefully that helps you.